For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kevin Patton. You may, however, recognize me from the social back in May. I really wanted to make sure that Kyle and Kyra had reached their fundraising goal. Seeing the great friend that I am, I drank as much as I could. You're welcome, you guys. I've known Kyle since we played hockey together when we were about 8 years old. The oldest memory I have was actually during one of our home games in Lorette. Kyle was actually our best player when I wasn't on the ice. Okay, I'm kidding. He was in fact our best player. During this particular game, Kyle was sick with the flu. Kyle was out for a shift, the whistle blew, and Kyle returned to our bench. He then proceeded to vomit over the boards and into the bench. He took a squirt of water and was out on the ice for the next face-off. I couldn't figure out where we had found this freak of nature, but Kyle's passion for the game was relentless. To this day, I don't know if I've seen someone make a prettier wraparound than Kyle Giesbert. Can't see my nose here. The night Kyle met Kyra was a night I'll never forget. I really wanted Kyle to come out to the bar with me. You see, Kyle isn't a bar kind of guy. It just isn't his scene. Finally, I convinced him, and he came out. The bar of choice that night was Tijuana's Yacht Club. So we're sitting at the bar. It was me, and then Kyle, and then our friend Brianne. Well, the girl sitting beside our friend Brianne, cueing Kyra, had caught Kyle's eye. I remember Kyle telling Brianne that he thought the girl beside her was absolutely gorgeous. Well, Brianne then turned to the girl and told her that Kyle thought she was really pretty. And then Brianne just walked away. As awkward as this situation may have been, Kyle stood up, sat down beside Kyra, and said, "I don't think you're pretty. I think you're gorgeous." Now, before I go on, I have used many pickup lines in my life, but never one as corny as the one I have just heard. My jaw dropped when she smiled and continued to converse with Kyle. I must have missed something. I guess it worked because by the end of the night, Kyle came rushing up to me, demanding me for my cell phone. Kyle didn't have one at the time, and he really wanted to get Kyra's number as she was leaving. I gave him my phone, and he took off into a crowd of people, hoping she was still waiting for him. Finally, he returned with a big smile on his face and satisfaction in his eyes. He was so proud of himself, you see. He handed me my phone and said, "Kev, I got her number." What Kyle didn't know about cell phones was that one key and crucial part about entering a number into a phone was to hit the save key after putting in the number. So after scrolling through my phone, I quickly asked Kyle, "Hey man, did you save the number?" Kyle then looked at me with confusion and said, "What do you mean save it? Like it was my fault." And before you could say Amelia Bedelia, Kyle snagged my phone and was off to the races after Kyra once again. I laughed. Finally, after a second try, he had got it right. One of Kyle's first dates with Kyra was at the Forks. After the date, Kyle met up with me and told me all about the date. I was interested in hearing about it, but after a while, I tried changing the subject. Well, whatever we talked about somehow always went back to talking about his date with Kyra. Finally, I turned to Kyle and said, "Okay, Kyle, what are you going to marry this girl?" Well, he sure showed me. To be honest, it didn't take very long until Kyle told me that he knew this was the girl he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. in closing, I just want to say that I'm so happy for the both of you. You have something so beautiful together, and I'm so proud. Kyle, you have always been there for me. You have been the best influence on me, and you have always been the best friend a guy could ever ask for. We've laughed together, we've cried together, through the good times and the bad. I just want you to know that I'll always be there for you, just a phone call away, if you still have me properly saved in your cell phone. And if I can take this opportunity to raise our glass for the groom. Kyle, cheers everybody. Thank you.
Oh, ruins. Oh, one is the cheers.